Top 25 Yoga Instructor Interview Questions and Answers. Are you preparing for a yoga instructor interview? Whether you're applying at a studio, gym, or retreat, being ready to answer common questions is key to showcasing your skills, philosophy, and teaching approach. In this video, we cover the top 25 yoga instructor interview questions and answers to help you confidently express your journey, experience, and values. From class structuring to handling diverse students, these answers are tailored to help you shine. 1. Can you tell us about your journey into yoga? My journey into yoga began during college when I sought a way to manage stress and improve my health. What started as a physical practice soon became a deep mental and spiritual discipline. Inspired by the transformation I experienced, I pursued a 200-hour yoga teacher training course. The training opened my eyes to the philosophical roots of yoga, including mindfulness, discipline, and compassion. Teaching became my calling as I realized the power yoga holds to heal and empower. Today, I continue learning and teaching with passion, grateful for the impact yoga has made on my life and others. 2. What styles of yoga are you certified to teach? I am certified in Hatha, Vinyas, and Yin Yoga through a Yoga Alliance-recognized 200-hour teacher training program. Hatha and Vinyas allow me to focus on alignment and flow, while Yin helps deepen flexibility and mindfulness. My training also includes anatomy, sequencing, and meditation practices, enabling me to design safe and balanced sessions. I continue to expand my knowledge through continuing education in therapeutic yoga and trauma-informed approaches. My versatile background enables me to adapt classes to different student needs, whether they're seeking physical challenge, relaxation, or spiritual growth. 3. How do you tailor your classes to different experience levels? I begin by assessing students' abilities and goals through brief check-ins and observation. For beginners, I simplify postures, focus on foundational alignment, and use clear cues and demonstrations. I offer modifications and props to support their comfort and safety. For intermediate or advanced students, I introduce deeper variations and more challenging flows while emphasizing breath control and body awareness. My cues always include options, encouraging students to listen to their bodies and progress at their own pace. Creating a non-judgmental environment helps everyone feel comfortable and supported, regardless of experience level. 4. How do you handle students with physical limitations or injuries? Safety is my top priority. I always ask students to disclose injuries or limitations before class and encourage open communication. For known issues, I suggest alternative poses, use props like blocks and straps, or provide chair-based versions. I focus on alignment, avoid pressure on vulnerable joints, and refrain from hands-on adjustments without consent. I guide students to work within a pain-free range and emphasize the importance of breath and body awareness. When needed, I consult with or refer students to healthcare professionals. My goal is to create an inclusive, supportive practice that honors individual bodies and boundaries. 5. What is your approach to meditation and mindfulness in yoga? I see meditation and mindfulness as integral to yoga, not separate from physical practice. I incorporate breath awareness, guided meditation, or body scans during warm-ups and cool-downs. Throughout the class, I encourage presence by reminding students to focus on sensations, breath, and thoughts without judgment. Even during physical flows, mindfulness is cultivated through intentional movement and breath synchronization. In restorative or Yin classes, I include longer meditation segments. I aim to create a sanctuary where students can disconnect from daily distractions, cultivate inner calm, and foster a deeper mind-body connection beyond just physical exercise. 6. How do you structure a typical class session? I structure classes with a warm-up, core sequence, and cool-down. I begin with grounding breath work or gentle stretches to prepare the body and center the mind. The core sequence includes standing, balancing, and seated poses tailored to the class style and level. Transitions are fluid in Vinyas, while Hatha focuses on longer holds and alignment. I include modifications and progressions to accommodate different abilities. The class concludes with floor stretches, relaxation, and savasana, often paired with guided meditation. Each class balances effort and ease, encouraging holistic well-being through movement, breath, and mindfulness. 7. What do you think sets your teaching style apart? My teaching style is rooted in empathy, clarity, and adaptability. I focus on making yoga accessible and inclusive, regardless of experience or physical ability. My verbal cues are detailed and easy to follow, and I offer consistent modifications. I create a calm, welcoming environment where students feel encouraged rather than judged. I also integrate mindfulness, philosophy, and anatomy to deepen understanding. My background in psychology enhances my ability to connect with students emotionally. Ultimately, I aim to offer a class that nurtures the body, calms the mind, and inspires self-discovery, leaving students feeling balanced and empowered. 8. How do you ensure a safe and inclusive environment for all students? Creating safety and inclusivity begins with setting clear class expectations and encouraging communication. I welcome students of all backgrounds and body types, use gender-neutral language, and ask for consent before physical adjustments. I provide options for every pose and avoid assumptions about flexibility or ability. My classes are trauma-informed, emphasizing autonomy and choice. I observe students carefully to offer support where needed without singling anyone out. I also encourage questions and feedback. By fostering respect, empathy, and non-judgment, I create an environment where everyone feels valued and comfortable exploring their practice. 9. How do you stay updated on new yoga practices or trends? I regularly attend workshops, retreats, and continuing education programs to deepen my skills and stay current. I follow reputable yoga organizations, teachers, and journals to keep up with evolving trends like trauma-informed yoga, accessible yoga, or new sequencing methods. I also read books on yoga philosophy, anatomy, and mindfulness. Engaging with the yoga community through online forums and social media helps me exchange ideas and stay inspired. I test and integrate new approaches cautiously, ensuring they align with yogic principles and student needs. Lifelong learning is essential to my growth as a responsible, effective instructor. 10. What are the most important qualities of a successful yoga instructor? A successful yoga instructor embodies empathy, patience, and authenticity. Strong communication skills are essential to guide students clearly and safely. They must be attentive and adaptive, recognizing individual needs while maintaining group harmony. Consistency, self-awareness, and a commitment to personal practice help model integrity and discipline. An instructor should inspire without ego, fostering trust and inclusivity. Knowledge of anatomy, philosophy, and teaching methodology enhances credibility. Equally important is humility, recognizing that teaching is a two-way path of learning and service. Ultimately, the best instructors create transformative experiences that go beyond the mat. 11. How do you handle disruptive or distracted students? I address disruptions gently and respectfully. If a student is chatting, checking their phone, or moving excessively, I use subtle cues like eye contact or reminders about mindfulness and presence. I avoid calling them out directly unless necessary, as I want to preserve a supportive environment. If the behavior continues, I may speak with them privately after class to understand and address any concerns. For distraction rooted in anxiety or discomfort, I offer grounding techniques or modifications. My goal is always to bring the student back into the practice without judgment or embarrassment. 12. Can you explain how breathing techniques are integrated into your sessions? Breath, or pranayama, is central to every class I teach. I begin each session with grounding breathwork like 3-part breath or ujjayi to connect body and mind. During poses, I cue inhalations and exhalations to guide movement and maintain rhythm. I often use breathing techniques such as Nadi Shodhana or Kapalabhati during seated practices or cool-downs to balance energy and focus. Breath awareness enhances mindfulness, reduces stress, and deepens the physical experience. I also educate students on the physiological and energetic benefits of breath control, empowering them to use pranayama in daily life for emotional and mental balance. 13. How do you incorporate yoga philosophy into your classes? I subtly weave yoga philosophy into classes through themes, reflections, and cues. For example, I may focus a session on ahimsa, nonviolence, encouraging students to practice self-compassion and non-judgment. I briefly explain key concepts like the yamas, niyamas, or chakras at the start or end of class, relating them to modern life. During meditation or savasana, I share relevant teachings from texts like the Yoga Sutras or Bhagavad Gita. I avoid overwhelming students with theory, instead offering practical wisdom that supports inner growth and awareness, helping them find deeper meaning in their physical practice. 14. How do you motivate students who are struggling or not progressing? I motivate struggling students by offering encouragement, modifications, and reassurance that progress in yoga isn't linear. I remind them that yoga is a personal journey, not a performance, and emphasize the importance of showing up and being present. I provide positive reinforcement, celebrate small wins, and share my own challenges to normalize setbacks. I offer alternative practices such as restorative poses or breathwork to maintain engagement. I also suggest journaling or short home practices to build consistency. Creating a supportive space where students feel seen and respected helps rebuild confidence and maintain motivation. 15. Describe a challenging situation with a student and how you handled it. Once, a student with a past injury attempted an advanced pose despite my suggestions to modify. They became frustrated and visibly upset. I gently paused the class flow, approached them quietly, and encouraged them to prioritize their body's needs. After class, we discussed safer options and how to recognize limits without feeling defeated. I emphasized the non-competitive nature of yoga and the importance of self-care. In the following weeks, I noticed they embraced modifications with more ease. This experience reinforced the importance of empathy, communication, and creating an environment where students feel safe to be vulnerable. 16. How do you promote your classes or grow your student base? I use a mix of word of mouth, social media, and community engagement to promote classes. I create content like tips, short flows, or quotes on Instagram and Facebook to connect with students and showcase my teaching style. I also collaborate with wellness centers, host free introductory sessions, and participate in local events. Email newsletters help maintain relationships with regular students. I prioritize authenticity in all marketing, focusing on value and connection rather than sales. I also collect feedback to improve offerings and encourage referrals. Consistency, reliability, and a welcoming atmosphere naturally help grow a loyal student base. 17. What tools or props do you typically use in your classes? I regularly use blocks, straps, bolsters, blankets, and chairs to support alignment, enhance comfort, and deepen poses. Blocks assist with balance and bringing the floor closer, while straps aid in reaching or maintaining form in tight areas. Bolsters and blankets offer support in restorative poses or during savasana. I also integrate wall support and yoga wheels in specialized sessions. I explain the purpose of each prop clearly and encourage all students, not just beginners, to use them. Props make yoga accessible and help students explore poses safely and confidently at their own pace. 18. How do you deal with burnout or stay energized as a teacher? I maintain my own practice, set boundaries, and take breaks when needed to prevent burnout. Teaching from an empty cup affects both the instructor and the students. I prioritize self-care through regular rest, nature time, journaling, and attending classes as a student. I also stay inspired by reading yoga philosophy and learning from fellow instructors. Rotating class themes and exploring creativity in sequencing keeps my sessions fresh and engaging. By staying connected to the deeper purpose of yoga, service, connection, and healing, I remain motivated and energized to share it with others meaningfully. 19. How do you handle private versus group sessions differently? In private sessions, I tailor everything to the student's needs, goals, and limitations. I begin with a consultation to understand their health history and objectives, then create a personalized plan that evolves over time. The focus may be therapeutic, meditative, or skill-based. In group classes, I design sequences that offer broad accessibility with multiple levels and modifications. I aim to create collective energy while respecting individual boundaries. Private sessions allow deeper focus and mentorship, while group classes foster community. Both require empathy, adaptability, and clear communication, but the teaching approach and pace vary significantly. 20. What's your approach to teaching online yoga classes? Online yoga requires clear audiovisual communication, intentional sequencing, and strong engagement strategies. I ensure my camera setup shows full body movement and offer verbal cues in place of hands-on adjustments. I check in with students via chat or before/after class and encourage questions. I simplify transitions and demonstrate key poses slowly. Consistency in scheduling and offering recordings enhances accessibility. I also maintain a calming presence to counter digital fatigue. Despite the screen, I aim to create a personal and safe experience through mindfulness and community building, proving that yoga's connection can transcend physical space. 21. Can you describe your experience working in studios, gyms, or retreats? I've taught in a variety of settings including boutique studios, corporate gyms, and wellness retreats. Studios offered a focused, peaceful environment where I taught structured classes with dedicated practitioners. In gyms, I adapted to fast-paced settings, often welcoming beginners or fitness-focused attendees, emphasizing safety and flexibility. Retreats allowed for deeper immersion, combining yoga with mindfulness, nature, and nutrition. Each space taught me to be adaptable and maintain consistency in quality. I learned how to manage diverse student expectations, collaborate with staff, and enhance the holistic experience of yoga across different atmospheres. 22. How do you evaluate your students' progress over time? I evaluate progress holistically, observing not just physical improvements but also changes in breath control, focus, confidence, and self-awareness. I notice if students maintain alignment, move with ease, or need fewer cues. I also listen to their reflections, how they feel during and after class, how yoga is influencing their life off the mat. For private students, I may track goals, offer assessments, or journal progress together. Growth in yoga isn't just about mastering poses, but in cultivating presence, resilience, and self-care. I encourage students to recognize and celebrate even subtle shifts. 23. How do you modify poses for beginners or seniors? For beginners and seniors, I prioritize safety, comfort, and confidence. I use props like blocks, chairs, and straps to reduce strain and improve alignment. I simplify poses, focus on foundational movements, and encourage slow pacing with frequent rest. I avoid inversions or deep back bends unless the student has experience. For balanced poses, I offer wall support or wider stances. I also use more verbal cues and demonstrations, ensuring they feel empowered to modify as needed. The aim is to create a supportive space where they can experience the benefits of yoga without feeling overwhelmed or at risk. 24. What's your favorite yoga pose and why? My favorite pose is Savasana because it embodies the essence of yoga, letting go. After movement and effort, Savasana offers stillness, reflection, and deep integration. It teaches surrender, presence, and the value of rest in a world that glorifies constant activity. I find that Savasana often reveals the true impact of the practice, not just physically but mentally and emotionally. Guiding students into this quiet space is incredibly powerful. It's also a reminder that yoga isn't just about doing, it's about being. In stillness, we reconnect with our breath, our body, and our inner peace. 25. Why do you want to work with our studio/gym? I admire your studio's inclusive mission and community-focused values. Your commitment to holistic wellness aligns with my own teaching philosophy that yoga should be accessible, supportive, and transformative. I believe my diverse experience and warm, adaptable teaching style would complement your existing offerings. I'm passionate about helping students grow in mind, body, and spirit, and I see your studio as a space where I can contribute meaningfully while continuing to grow as a teacher. I'm excited to bring energy, compassion, and creativity to your team and help nurture a thriving yoga community. Thank you for watching the top 25 yoga instructor interview questions and answers.